Well, good afternoon, everyone. We're here live with the Southeastern baseball coach, Zach Crabtree, our little recap and update show. And, Coach, first of all, I think a lot of people have been concerned about Joseph Serta. He was involved in an accident a couple of weeks ago. What's the update on Joseph?
Joe's still fighting. He's making some small improvements, which are encouraging. We just got to continue to keep him and his family and also the medical staff in our thoughts and prayers. And just know he keeps fighting each day to get better. And we're going to keep praying for him until he's able to leave the hospital and be out and about.
That's the kind of thing when it happens, there's no way you can be prepared for that. And the kids on the team, I know there's been a lot of outpouring. I heard a story just this morning. An elementary class is raising money to give to help Joseph Serta and his family. So the whole community's kind of getting behind him.
Oh, the entire community, Durant and Southeastern community, has been outstanding. Also, his hometown, San Antonio, his high school's done some fundraising and it's been outstanding. But also, Harding University baseball has helped out. I know the elementary school here in town also did a fundraiser this morning for Joseph and his family. So it's just been amazing to see the great people reach out and help and see the good in people in this time of tragedy.
I'm not sure the fans, if you haven't been to a game and if you didn't get there early, you might not have noticed this, but your players at BP shirts, they say 39, and that's Joseph's number, and everybody's wearing his name.
Yeah, everybody's wearing Joseph Serta basically T-shirt jersey with 39 strong on it. Our guys kind of adopted that as kind of our slogan, and to kind of reach different people and just kind of have something to unite everybody in this cause for Joseph. And it's kind of taken off, and there's people all over using 39 strong now, and so we're extremely blessed for the support and the love and outpouring of stuff that has come our way and towards Joseph and the Serta family.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your team. You're in the middle of the season, basically. I don't know if you're even aware of this, but I was looking at the standings. It might have changed just slightly here lately, but the way the schedule fell, you've just wrapped up play with Southern Arkansas last weekend, and you've now played the top basically half of the conference standings, and now you've got all of your games against the bottom half. There's no way you can plan for that because you don't know going into the season, but that's kind of an oddity.
Correct. The way things have worked out, our first 6 weeks have been of conference have been against the upper tier teams, and then our final 5 weeks are against teams that are the bottom 5 of the conference. So, if we can go out and play with some more consistency, which basically comes from coaching, we got to do better coaching and preparing our guys. But if we can take care of business, and we should be in good shape when the end of the season rolls around.
Well, you kind of got it in front of you. Like I said, these other teams are going to be playing each other that are ahead of you, so you got a chance to make up some ground here. Do you approach it just the same as you always do, or is there a little more pressure?
Well, there's not really much more pressure because the pressure is to win every game. But our guys understand by not winning some games that had the opportunity to win so far in conference, we put ourselves in a situation where we need to win all 5 series and we need to sweep a couple of them. But we need to win all 5 and to control our own destiny. The deal is you want to make sure you control your own outcome and not leave it in somebody else's hands because anything can happen at that point. And our guys, we just got to be more consistent, and we've got to quit getting out to a bad start and letting people jump up on us early, and that comes from all the way around. We got to be a little better offensively early in games, and we got to do a lot better job on the mound and defensively. And we can play with anybody in the country, but anybody in the country can play with us, and we've proven that through how many 30 games we've played or however many we've played so far.
We're visiting with Zach Crabtree, head coach, Southeastern Baseball. You had a game earlier this week kind of like that against University Tyler, Texas Tyler. And they're kind of a new team moving up to Division II, and you got behind, but your offense got you back, and I think you ended up winning like 16-11 or something like that.
Yes, sir. UT Tyler won the Division III National Championship last year, and they're moving up to NCAA Division II. They're going to be in the Lone Star Conference starting next year. And so it's a new team to the schedule, and they have a nice ball club, and they jumped out on us early, and we came back, and then we just had a horrendous inning where we walked 5 or 6. I don't remember how many we walked that inning, and made a big error that led to 6 runs, but we battled back. We showed a lot of courage and a lot of fight. We down 9-3 and come back and win 16-11. And so we showed a lot of fight and had a lot of different guys step up. We played almost the entire roster yesterday, and it was good for some of those guys to get in and get some at bats. And we had, we threw 4 freshmen in the game yesterday, so that's encouraging as well.
I notice you like to use your whole, or pretty much all your roster. You believe in platooning a lot, lefty, righty batters and stuff like that. Do you enjoy when you have games like that where you can play just a lot of different players?
Well, this has kind of been a unique year. I've always been a guy that's got a lineup set, and we played that lineup. And we had this conversation Monday at practice with my assistant coaches, and one has coached with me 2 years before, and the other guy, Keach Ballard, played for me for 2 years and played shortstop for me at Murray. And I've always had a set lineup and just rode with it. And this year, I bet I don't know how many games we've played, but I bet if we played 30 games, we probably had 20 different lineups, and that's not me. But we've got some guys, that they're about the same, produced about the same amount. So we've tried to go more matchups, putting the lefties against righties and righties against lefties, and I don't know if it's worked out kind of quite like we wanted it to, because our record's not what we want it to. But it gives every guy an opportunity, and it you preach to those guys to work hard in practice and buy in to be team guys, and they get opportunities. And so now they know they get the opportunity if they're working hard and doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Makes your job harder.
It does, and I was worried there in the last inning yesterday. We had a 16-11 lead, and we'd played every hitter on our roster except one. We had one guy left that hadn't been in the game, and we'd pitched every pitcher other than a couple two-way guys that were in the game, and then our game 1 and game 2 conference starters, which we were not going to throw at all yesterday. And so we had our guy in, and he hits the first 2 guys, and I'm like, man, we're in a bind here because we can't pull him because we got nobody to go in and play defense. So luckily things worked out. But sometimes when you start mixing and matching and putting people in and emptying the bench, you get yourself in a bind. So.
Well, let's talk about your upcoming series. You're going to Arkadelphia to take on Ouachita. What do you know about the Tigers?
Well, the Tigers have a lot of guys coming back from last year's squad. They finished near the bottom of the conference, but they're pretty young. They've gotten off to a pretty decent start. They're, right there, a little under 500, kind of like ourselves. They're coming off being swept by Northwestern at home. So, the deal is we got to go play our baseball and do what we can do. I'm not really concerned with other teams when we play our best baseball and we throw strikes and keep the ball down. And then when we compete offensively, we're as good as anybody. And so we're more concerned about us being us and being the best versions of ourselves. But Ouachita will compete. They were playing early with a lot of confidence, and I don't think they're playing as well as they were early. So we just got to go and find a way to win the series, win 2 out of 3, and hopefully our Game 1 starter Netson and Game 2 Whitmarsh are back to the guys that they can be, and then our offense continues to hit like it has the last couple of weeks. So we just found out right before this taping that the series has been moved to Sunday, Monday, and so that'll give our guys a couple extra days to rest and give us an opportunity to really work on some things that we've been struggling on. So I think that Ouachita's a team that can beat us if we don't take care of our business, but if we go and play the best possible Savage Storm baseball, we should win the series.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you. 39 strong.
39 strong. You heard it right there. We'll have another update next week with head coach Zach Crabtree.